Hello and welcome to your news and features electronic magazine that centers on the different facets of motoring. Now on its 34th year, this is Motoring Today. On behalf of our dad, Butch Gamboa, I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. Here are this week's features to watch out for.
On Motoring Forum, we shall discuss the highly talked about use of barriers for motorcycle back riders. Our road safety reminder on the Young Street Smarts portion centers on the proper and safe way to treat pedestrian lane users. This week's Buying Chaper shall be about the illegal use of mobile phones while driving. The public service segment centers on motorists who illegally use the busway on EDSA. Showcase this week shall have the compact SUV crossover from Subaru, the 2020 Forester 2.0 IL with EyeSight CVT.
All these plus the latest news in transportation and traffic management, as well as developments in the automotive industry, are in this week's edition of Motoring Today. Join us.
Be part of the 2020-2021 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2020-2021 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate standard and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until September 30, 2020. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
The new Mitsubishi Strada Athlete. Unleash the athlete.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Here now are the latest news and developments in the country's transportation and traffic management. It's been a hot topic since the metro has been placed under quarantine control. Why is riding in tandem not allowed even for married couples? The IATF is now finally allowing 2 people to ride on motorcycles, but not all can do so.
The Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases, or IATF MEID, is now allowing couples living together in the same house to ride tandem on a motorcycle. This came after months of public pressure to allow pillion riding amid the dearth of allowed public transport modes during various levels of community quarantine controls. In a news report announcing the new policy, Department of Interior and Local Government said that only married couples and live-in partners will initially be allowed to ride tandem on motorcycles. In interviews on radio and television talk shows, IATF officials clarified that couples, regardless of gender or sexual orientation, would be permitted to ride tandem on motorcycles as long as they are living together in a single house. They must show proof, like copies of marriage certificates or IDs, showing the same surnames or the same address. The IATF also said that couples have to comply with IATF guidelines for pillion riding, including the use of protective barrier between the riders. The IATF initially said that the protective barriers must be affixed onto the motorcycles, citing the prototype for the barrier proposed by Bohol Governor Arthur Yap for use in his province and approved by the National Task Force for COVID-19. Later, the IATF said NTF also approved the backpack-type barrier proposed for safe pillion riding by Angkas, the motorcycle ride-hailing app provider.
Many couples are thankful for being allowed to ride together on motorcycles. The next question now is, will government extend this privilege to other family members living in the same house? Or will Angkas be allowed to resume operations? It cannot be denied that the COVID-19 pandemic is affecting the collection of tax and other revenues. Tollway operators are helping in this by advancing payment of tax concession fees.
The private sector, particularly the big conglomerates, has been helping government overcome the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. One way of helping out is advancing payments of taxes and other fees to government. The Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation, or MPTC, has turned over the second tranche of concession fees for the Cavite-Laguna Expressway to the DPWH, amounting to 4.368 billion pesos ahead of its due date. The payment was turned over personally by MPTC Chairman Manuel V. Pangilinan to DPWH Secretary Mark Villar. Earlier, the MPTC advanced a total of 1 billion pesos in taxes to the Bureau of Internal Revenue as part of initiatives to help government raise funds amidst the COVID-19 pandemic.
The private sector, at least in the big conglomerates, have been doing more than their fair share in helping communities overcome the COVID-19 pandemic while supporting government efforts to keep the economy moving. Riders have not given up the fight to stop the implementation of a law mandating bigger license plates for motorcycles.
The Riders of the Philippines, a group which describes itself as promoter of riders' rights, freedom, safety, equality, respect, and unity, has filed a case at the Manila Regional Trial Court seeking to declare Republic Act 11235, the Motorcycle Crime Prevention Act, unconstitutional. RA 11235 seeks, among other things, to have all motorcycles have larger and more readable forms of license plates, one in front and another one in the rear. In seeking to have RA 11235 declared unconstitutional, the riders group led by Jobert Bolanos argued that bigger decals or plates will not help decrease the number of crimes perpetrated by motorcycle riding persons. He noted that criminals won't use their own motorcycles or automobile units with their own plates, as this may lead to their identity. So, bigger plates or decals won't help.
Riders should be hoping that government would put off implementing the law until its constitutionality or not has been confirmed by the courts from RTC, the Court of Appeals, and the Supreme Court. The COVID-19 pandemic has not stopped work to continue extending the Cavitex.
The DPWH and the Cavitex Infrastructure Corporation recently held groundbreaking rites for the construction of 2 new segments of the Cavitex C5 Link Expressway, a 7.70-kilometer tollway running from the R1 Parañaque Toll Plaza to C5 Road in Taguig. The construction of Segment 2 and Segment 3A2 is expected to be completed in the second quarter of 2022. Segment 2 is a 1.9-kilometer expressway that will run from R1 Expressway to Sucat Interchange. Segment 3A2 is a 1.6-kilometer expressway that will run from Merville to RSG Subdivision in Parañaque. In a press statement, DPWH Secretary Mark Villar said, "I'm very excited to see the completion of these projects, which will decongest EDSA and Salis Road in Pasay City by about 50,000 vehicles per day, and connect major business districts in Taguig and Makati to Parañaque, Las Piñas, and Cavite." He added that continuing with build activities will help spur economic growth to help us get back on track from the effects of this pandemic. The 2 new segments will help create at least 1,000 new jobs in construction, operations, and maintenance, said Roberto Bontia, CIC President and General Manager.
Construction of roads and bridges has always been seen as a vital component of efforts to resuscitate a moribund economy in times of crisis. If there is a time to really push civil works projects, it is now when we are battling the effects of the pandemic. Those are the latest news in transportation and traffic management. Coming up next is Motoring Forum, brought to you by Suzuki Philippines. Motorcycles are one of the cheapest forms of personal mobility in these COVID-19 times. The IATF has finally relented and allowed backriders, but imposed the condition that some form of approved barrier must be used between rider and pillion passenger. But is the barrier safe or even necessary? Motoring Forum will tackle this issue.
When Department of Interior and Local Government Secretary Eduardo Año announced that starting July 10, 2020, married couples and live-in partners can now ride together on motorcycles, he also said the motorcycles must have protective shields between riders. This is aside from the mandatory wearing of masks when leaving the relative safety of homes and, of course, the use of helmets. He said that the National Task Force for COVID-19 has already approved one prototype design for a protective barrier earlier submitted by Bohol Governor Arthur Yap to allow riding in tandem without compromising health protocols to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Even before Año announced that Yap's prototype got the NTF seal of approval, concerns were raised by many experienced riders about the dangers of using metal tubes and hard clear plastic as protective barrier. Concerns were also raised in media interviews and posts on social media that the Yap prototype design will dangerously affect the motorcycle's stability in windy conditions or even when caught in the wake of speeding buses. Social media was awash with memes deriding the use of protective barriers. There were also well-meaning illustrations of how the NTF-approved design would not be compatible with many motorcycles of various chassis and suspension architecture. There were also questions on whether manufacturers' warranties would be voided by protective barriers bolted or welded onto motorcycles. Responding to such concerns, Governor Yap was reportedly heard on a program defending the use of protective barriers, saying that they made riders go slower and safer on the road. Año also cautioned couples riding in tandem to be more careful on the streets on motorcycles with protective barriers. Even as concerns over the safety of the Yap prototype went viral, the IATF and the NTF has approved another protective barrier design. Proposed by Angkas, the ride-hailing app, the protective barrier is not bolted onto the motorcycle but is worn like a backpack by the driver. Angkas said its proposed motorcycle barrier minimizes likelihood of transmission of virus between pillion passenger and rider. The plastic material used is both rigid and flexible. Rigid enough to present a barrier to viruses, but flexible enough to prevent shattering or sharding in accidents. It added that its protective shield is designed to be aerodynamic to minimize drag and deformation at high speed. It also has passenger grips low to the side, which pillion rider can hold on safely without tiring easily. Many riders say the Angkas design answers many of the concerns raised against the Yap prototype. No bolt-ons or weldings needed. The aerodynamic design would also allay concerns about protective barriers, making motorcycles unstable in windy conditions. Angkas added that the design and the materials used make it easy to be produced at low cost to make it accessible to most Filipino riders. During the first day of being allowed to ride in tandem, many couples rode out on roads with ingenious and imaginative protective barriers using the oddest of materials. It may seem funny to many, but to many couples, married or live-in, being able to ride together on a single motorcycle is a big and serious deal.
Government and the IATF have shown that they listen to public opinion and are even amenable to revise or tweak policies and regulation in response to reasonable and constructive suggestions and criticisms. Here's hoping that logic and reason prevail on who can be pillion riders. After all, there is a lack of available mass transport which is more prone to spreading the contagion.
What do we go for? We go for experience. go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
The Mitsubishi Mirage.
You are back with us here on Motoring Today. In line with our lifelong commitment to promote road safety, here is this week's road safety tip in cooperation with Toyota Motor Philippines.
When driving, always keep in mind that you're responsible not only for yourself, but also for your environment. Palaging paunahin ang mga tumatawid sa pedestrian lane. Be patient at huwag magmadali, lalo na kung ang tumatawid ay mga bata, matatanda, o may kapansanan. It's always better to give way to pedestrians than to cause accidents.
Continuing with this week's edition of Motoring Today, let's now focus on proper driver's demeanor, especially for those driving PUVs. From Mitsubishi Motors Philippines, here is Payong Choper this week.
Payong Choper lang kaibigan, ako si Marlon, isang kapwa nyo Choper. Habang nagmamaneho, kailangan buo ang atensyon mo at hindi gulo-gulo.
Ang cellphone ay isa ng malaking bahagi sa buhay ng tao. Halos lahat ay meron at gumagamit nito. Pero sana kapag tayo ay nagmamaneho, tigilan muna natin ang paggamit ng cellphone. Paalala lang, sa pagmamaneho kailangan ang iba yung konsentrasyon. Kapag ikaw ay nagtetelepono, ang isip mo ay wala sa iyong pagmamaneho at ito ay maaaring maging rason para magkaroon ng aksidente.
Kung ayaw mong mamultahan o maaksidente, huwag kang gumamit ng cellphone habang nagmamaneho. Si Marlon Goodmalin, Payong Choper lang kaibigan mula sa isang kapwa nyo Choper.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
Be part of the 2020-2021 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2020-2021 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate standard and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until September 30, 2020. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
Live extra.
With the new Mitsubishi Xpander Cross.
What do we go for? We go for experience. go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
Elevate your journey. The new Montero Sport.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors.
Welcome back to Motoring Today. Let's now take a look at what's happening in the local auto industry.
Kia Philippines isn't phrased by the new normal of tomorrow. Kia owners should feel confident that a dealership will always be there to serve their needs, well into the new normal.
Major concern would always be the customer. So we thought, what would be critical for our customers to be safe, because that was a major block for them to come and visit. So during the full lockdown, we went into a lot of preparation so that once the lockdown eases, customers would have the peace of mind to come and visit us. So we worked on that together with our dealers. We provided them several guidelines on how to make that whole dealership, whether they are into the sales area or in the after-sales area, everything would be so sanitized and for peace of mind.
Kia is steadfast and pushing through with its plans to open 4 new dealerships by the third quarter of the year. These are Kia Marikina, Kia Fairview, Kia Isabela, and Kia Bonifacio Global City. This should bring the number of Kia sales and service facilities to 34. It adds that 4 more facilities are planned for opening by the end of 2020 and in 2021.
We want to ensure our buying public that the vehicles that they would like to carry from us are available at better pricing. So that's number one in our plan. July, for example, very hefty promo discounts, financing packages, because we want to participate in the normalization of the overall environment. We also worked on the after sales, because we know equally important as purchasing a car is owning and maintaining the vehicle. So we have worked on the after sales element of the business, especially with our dealers, so that once you own it, maintaining it is not going to be a problem.
And Kia promises to launch more new models to add to its already comprehensive lineup of vehicles, catering various needs, lifestyle choices, and budgets of Filipino buyers.
Towards the end of this year, we will also do another unboxing, a new model that we will be introducing to the market. Again, in addition to what we have already offered as our participation for the recovering economy of the country, we would like to bring in another one that will help our riding public. We will unbox that fourth quarter this year.
Mitsubishi Motors Philippines wants to add the success of its best-selling crossover MPV with the launch of the Xpander Cross, which it describes as a family-friendly 7-seater crossover MPV built with solid SUV styling, comfortable and present drivability, as well as a spacious, practical, and versatile interior design. First launched in 2018, the Xpander got a warm response in the local market, with Mitsubishi reporting sales of 36,168 units, which amounts to 30% of the company's total vehicle sales. The Xpander is a very important product to MMPC, as it fits many of the vehicle requirements of Filipinos. It provides the reliable performance, spacious and comfortable interior, host of safety features, and a very bold design. Now with the entry of the Xpander Cross and its added features, we see renewed potential to the already successful Xpander nameplate, said MMPC President and CEO Oshikiri. What differentiates the Xpander Cross from its brethren? A new front grille and bumper design, LED headlights and fog lamps, 17-inch two-tone alloy wheels, new fender arc and side body molding, new rear garnish and LED combination lamp, roof rails. Mitsubishi boasts of class-leading 225mm of ground clearance for the Xpander Cross for traversing more challenging terrains without compromising ride comfort. You can get the Xpander Cross for 1,255,000 pesos. Isuzu Philippines Corporation has turned over initial proceeds of its Isuzu Kasama Mo campaign, launched last June 1, 2020, to partner with institutions engaged in providing assistance to medical and other frontliners in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic.
Today, we are officially turning over the first batch of medical PPEs to our partner organization as part of our Isuzu Kasama Mo campaign.
The campaign aims to donate corresponding amounts of medical personal protection equipment, or PPE, for every Isuzu vehicle sold from June 1 to July 31, 2020. The initial number of donated PPEs were turned over in simple rights at the IPC head office in Binyan, Laguna to representatives of the Philippine Coast Guard, the Philippine Red Cross, and Caritas Manila.
To all the televiewers and Isuzu clients out there, visit any of our Isuzu dealership in Nationwide and inquire about our latest product and promotion. We assure you of our strict health and safety protocol and sanitation process. For those who wish to inquire at the convenience of their home, check out our new digital dealer page and talk to us online. Log on to www.isuzufil.com for more details. Thank you very much.
All British Cars, exclusive distributor of Jaguar cars in the country, has brought the all-electric Jaguar I-Pace to its new BGC Boutique showroom. Jaguar touts the I-Pace as its smartest 5-seater sports car. A 90-kilowatt lithium-ion high-voltage battery powers 2 electric motors mounted at the axles that combined generate 400 horsepower and 696 newton-meters of torque. The motors send power to all 4 wheels. Jaguar claims the I-Pace can go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.8 seconds. The I-Pace comes with a 7-kilowatt Type 2 plug, 7-kilowatt wall charger. Charging from 0 to full takes about 12 hours. A single full charge provides a range of up to 570 kilometers. It also features the new PV Pro infotainment system. All British Cars is now accepting orders for the all-electric Jaguar I-Pace, which comes at 7,590,000 pesos. Clients may also purchase an additional charger for second homes or offices at the cost of 105,000 pesos. It comes with an 8-year, 160,000 kilometer warranty. All British Cars, exclusive distributor of Land Rover vehicles in the Philippines, has brought in 2 variants of the Range Rover, powered by plug-in hybrid electric engines, the Range Rover PHEV and the Range Rover Sport PHEV. The new Range Rover variants joined Land Rover's local lineup of hybrid models. The first, the Range Rover Evoque, a mild hybrid electric vehicle, was launched last year. Both Range Rover PHEV and Range Rover Sport PHEV are powered by a 2-liter Ingenium turbocharged petrol engine, complemented by an 85 kilowatt electric motor. Combined, the petrol engine and electric motor generates 404 horsepower and 640 Nm of torque. Both come with a 13 kWh high-voltage lithium-ion battery that can be charged from 0 to full in 2 hours and 45 minutes. The PHEV powertrain provides 2 modes of driving. The parallel hybrid mode combines petrol and electric drive, giving the Range Rover a range of 700 kilometers. The electric vehicle mode only uses the electric motor for a quieter and emission-free drive, but with the range of only 50 kilometers on a single charge. Both come with a Type 2 plug 7 kWh wall charger.
Motoring Today now brings you our Car of the Week on Showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee. Ever since its introduction in 1997, the Subaru Forester has carved itself a reputation as a safe, reliable, and fun-to-drive compact crossover or SUV with all-weather capability, a roomy interior, and car-like ride. On Showcase this week, we take a look at the 2020 Subaru Forester 2.0 IL with EyeSight CVT.
Yeah, we are in the place to be. Yeah.
Some may miss the turbocharged engine in the old generation Forester, but others may find the new generation just as fun to drive. Still, many expect the Forester to continue to be a bestseller for the Subaru. That's our featured vehicle on this week's showcase, courtesy of Prudential Guarantee.
Drive worry-free with Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program with a free 24-hour nationwide roadside assistance included with your comprehensive auto insurance. Rest assured, we'll take care of you and your car wherever you are. Prudential Guarantee's auto insurance program, 100% worry-free driving.
Be part of the 2020-2021 Autofocus People's Choice Awards, the only nationwide poll to determine the country's most popular car brands and models. It's easy. Log on, then vote for as many as 5 different models that you believe should become the 2020-2021 Autofocus Automobile of the Year in separate standard and premium luxury categories. Vote every day until September 30, 2020. The Autofocus People's Choice Awards. Who will win? You choose, you decide. Vote now.
What do we go for? We go for experience. We go for excitement. We go for sport. We go for style. We go for fun. We go for the new Toyota Wigo.
We now have our segment that dwells on the wide array of motoring problems, not only in the metro but all over the country as well. This is where we present problems referred to us or we ourselves see and hope to fully find solutions for. Here's our public service segment brought to you by Honda Cars Philippines.
The Department of Transportation, in coordination with the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board and the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority, has established a busway on EDSA and started its interim operations. The EDSA busway is a new system envisioned for city buses with designated loading and unloading stops along the thoroughfare and using only the innermost lanes. At least 550 buses are soon expected to ply this. In its current operations, over 100 buses are being used. However, reports have it that the exclusive and dedicated lane for city buses is also not free from violators, the private motorists. It also appeared that even those from the government were violators. We shall be asking the MMDA regarding this and the actions they are going to do for such violations.
And that's our public service segment from Honda Cars Philippines. And should you yourself encounter motoring problems that need immediate attention, please feel free to contact us. See the details being flashed on the screen. And that's the week that was in motoring. Thank you for joining us. Also, don't forget to check us out on our social media accounts.
Until next week here on Motoring Today, now in its 34th year of continuing service to the general motoring public with a lifelong commitment to promote road safety. Stay healthy and be vigilant at all times. On behalf of Butch Gamboa, our dad, I'm Ray Louie Gamboa.
And I'm Susie Gamboa. Happy motoring!